as we have discussed, that now Emperor Ashok, the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya and son of Bindusar, he was now more interested in Dharma Vijay, that is the religious victory. As he accepted Buddhism, he devoted his life for spread of this Buddhism. Large amount of revenue, whatever the share of that revenue that is spent on the religious work, like construction of different stup. Stup is the place where a simple dome is constructed. One cannot enter inside that stup, but huge domes are constructed and certain inscriptions are there. Then he erected his pillars on almost all part of India, inclusive of South India from Karnataka to North India till this northwest frontier region. You are getting the pillars erected by Ashoka. The famous stup at Sanchi in MP, Madhya Pradesh, that is there. Like that, Ashok spent out large amount of revenue in this basis in order to spread out the religion. Now, according to the inscriptions and records, we found that Ashok was performing a role of father for his subjects. Say for example, according to him, all of the subjects were their sons. He considered them as their son and daughter, and he was taking care of the subjects. Personal contacts with the subject is important of Ashoka. But at the same time, he carrying out bifurcation or say some sort of discrimination between Vedic people and Buddhists. He encouraged Buddhism in all over his empire, as well as he sent monks, as we have discussed, that he sent messengers to other kingdoms also, till Japan, Korea, Central Asia and Middle East. Everywhere the messengers went and they spread out Buddhism. What is the important thing we have discussed? That the spread of Buddhism is essentially, who is responsible for that? It is not the Gautam Buddha, but Emperor Ashok. Now, he encouraged these all things, but while discussing about the language, surprised to know that in western part of this India, now Pakistan, but in old days India, the pillars, whatever they erected, they are having inscriptions in Greek language also. What is the probable reason? Whenever they are erecting pillars in Karnataka region, they are not using their local language at that time. But whenever erecting pillars over here, they are using Greek language. Probable reason may be possible from mother's side. Bindusar was from Greek, that is the daughter of Seleucus Nicator was mother of Bindusar. May be possible like that. First reason. Second reason, may be possible we have defeated Greeks, but still several Greeks must have inhabited that region. They have stayed over that region in order to, say for example, as a refugee or as caretaker, we don't know exactly, but as pillars are having Greek inscriptions, that means the Greek population over there was considerable during Ashoka's rule. And we are accepted, actually we are calling them as Yavanacharya. Many times, say in India also several caves are there, they are constructed by Greeks. In Maharashtra, as we have discussed earlier also, in case of Maharashtra, near Lonavala, Khandala and Lonavala are places near Sahyadri mountain ranges. There, huge set of caves we can obtain. Kondane caves are there, then Karla, Bedsa, Bhaje. These Karla caves are constructed by Greeks. Bhaje, they are also constructed by Greeks. No doubt, they are Buddhist caves, but the monks coming over there or chief in charge who constructed these caves, the decoration of these caves, if you are able to observe, you are having sense of art, then you can observe there the pillars are of Greek styles. Whatever the supporting ladies are there for that pillar, that idols are not having Indian look, that idols are having some Greek or European style of look. You have to observe that, you have to visit these Karla caves, then you will find that some Greek impact still was there. So like that, Ashok may have even, if you are aware, the Gandhar school of art. Gandhar is this region of Afghanistan and Pakistan, the border region here. The Gandhar school of art, that is also having mixture of Greeks and Indian culture or the styles. And therefore, the idol of even Lord Gautam Buddha, that is in style. Then certain problems were there in case of Ashoka's rule, like Vedic religion, that was not encouraged much. No doubt, he was not forcefully converting, but getting some advantages for Buddhists. And therefore, according to certain books, this era was actually giving destruction period of Mauryan Empire. I'm not saying the religion, but from Mauryan Empire point, this part was discouraging because vast empire requires tremendous army. In case of Mauryan administration, the 4 lakh army was maintained, and that was paid army. Just imagine that without huge army, such vast empire protection is not possible. And here we are talking of non-violence. Even certain orders were there for army, that suppose enemy invades, don't carry out the defense, because that will also kills many people. Ultimately, whether Greeks or Indian, they belong to human being or any life, and we should not kill any life. And so the non-violence was spread all over India and rest of the parts of world where Buddhism reaches. Now, problem is that this starts declining of Mauryan power. But no doubt, when Ashoka was there, in rule of Ashoka, the enemies were not so advanced because of the fear of this vast army. And as may be possible that some threats were there about Ashoka. Anyway, now we have to discuss about first administration of this Mauryan Empire. Keep in mind, whenever we are discussing for this civil service course, we have to look upon administration everywhere. Many people are having clear-cut ideology that whatever administration is there, that is coming from Western world only. But in Indian side, we are having very good administrative ideas in old days also. So without that, such vast empire maintaining is also not possible. And so we are having very good ideas. We have to discuss that even in Vedic period also, the administrative system was there without money. This is very nice concept actually. In present world, everybody is running behind money. Something like communist approach was there. We don't know exact, that is not communist, but somewhat like cattle belong to entire community and not of individual one. Anyway, we are having general ideas. We don't have proof for that. But in Vedic period, this concept was there that money, giving, taking, that was not there. But instead of that, they were carrying out barter system. Somewhat more important, but that is the primitive type now we are calling. Say anyway, many ideas now we can say they are of primitive style. But later on we are also shifting over that ideas only. Whenever we are discussing these facts in history, we will come to know. Now let us discuss and let us concentrate on the administrative system of this Mauryan Empire. The first and most important thing over there, that this vast empire was developed under guidance of Chanakya. Today, there is anti-Brahmanical trend. Few authors, they are denying. They are saying these Brahman people are having concept that whenever anybody is having great deeds, we have to say that their guru or the teacher was Brahman. For example, Chandragupta Maurya was from Kshatriya clan, whereas Chanakya was from Brahman clan. There is no connection between Chanakya and Chandragupta, but still, these Brahman people are insisting that Chanakya was his guru. Same way in case of Shivaji, they are saying Dadoji Kondev was their guru, and like that things are going on. But keep in mind always that history requires proof or certain things that we can gaze out at least. But natural that what are given in their history and what are given in book, I am going to study from the books only, and we have to apply our mind also. So just by observing the fact in those times, and we should not refer any single book. We have to refer variety of books, because just refer that book in previous lecture. I have told that 6 glorious epoch. The angles in which we are discussing the fact, and angles by which the book that is discussing the fact, that is different. Now refer another book written by R.C. Mujumdar. You will find that certain angles are different over there. Then various books are there for CSAT. You can go, I am not taking the name of publications, but variety of publications are giving books. You can refer out 2 or 3 books. You will find that data is different in different books. The second thing, the interpretation of the incident is also different. So ultimately, whenever we are discussing about history, we have to discuss in that way only. That whatever the sources are there, we have to go through that sources and then make your mind that okay, which is the right thing. Go for the evidence first, and on evidence only we have to speak. Now Chanakya, actually his name was not Chanakya, his name is Vishnugupta. But as his father's name was Chanak, he was called as Chanakya. Then he was expert, again that Chanakya, try to recollect the word, Taddit. In previous lecture we have discussed this type of Taddit, Pandu, Pandav, Kuru, Kaurav, like that Chanakya. So Chanakya, from his father's name, is famous as Chanakya. Then he was expert in politics, very much expert, and different techniques he was implementing. That was considered as Kutaniti in Sanskrit. So he was termed as Kautilya also. So Kautilya, Chanakya or Vishnugupta, same person. Don't misguide that Kautilya is different and Chanakya is different. The name Vishnugupta, entitled or on behalf of father, that is Sanskrit word Taddit, that is Chanakya, and expert in Kutaniti. Therefore he was called as Kautilya. Now he wrote a famous book, that is Artha Shastra. Actually, literally translation of Artha Shastra in English, that is economics. But this book is not only economics. This is political book. The relationship between subject and king or emperor. Then variety of things are discussed here apart from economics. So this is not mere economics. Economics plus politics we can consider. The total administration. This book is devoted for administration. Many times we are having also certain ideas that in Indian cricket team, let us discuss, in Indian cricket team, in old cricket teams and modern cricket team also, various players are giving world records. Somebody is famous for batting, somebody is famous for great fielding, somebody is famous for great bowling, fantastic captaincy and what not. But still, Indian cricket team requires usually foreign coach. Why not Indian players The retired Indian players are employed as coach. What is the problem over there? That Indians, say I am also speaking in English, Indians require foreigners to rule. This is now mentality. This mentality is there because of this foreign invasion, continuous foreign invasion on India, especially the British rule is responsible for this. Now, because of that, we are having this type of idea that whatever administration or whatever the ruling, that must have British system. So we are saying we are having democracy. We have our own constitution. In politics lecture, you must have discussed about constitution, article number so and etc. But we are having impact of British rule. We have to admire the fact that our constitution is having impact of British rule. Majority of clauses of 1935 law that was considered as it is in our constitution, modern present constitution. Now you can say this 1935 law that was based on Nehru report, so initially that is from India only. But we have to accept the fact that in England, Prime Minister is dominant rather than King. The same concept we have discussed, but kingship is turned out by presidential. So President is there, but more rights are there in hands of Prime Minister rather than President. So like that, if you are opening your eyes and read it carefully, you will find that Indians in nowadays, they are having this type of attitude that whatever is there from British side or foreign, then that is perfect. The Indian, that is not perfect. If any person from Western world says, yeah, Indian, this part was good, then we are saying yes. So this is, so let us concentrate on Indian politics in those time, that is somewhere 320 BC. The book giving guideline, that is Arthashastra, written by Chanakya. The second thing, the Megasthenes, a Greek person, a Greek ambassador was there in court of Chandragupta. He also carried out report of India. So in that report and Chanakya's Arthashastra book, we can get general idea about administration during Mauryan Empire. Now, the empire was very vast. That was from Afghanistan, that means from Gandhar to Sindh, Baluchistan, then till northern part of Maharashtra, and ultimately Orissa. Orissa was captured or conquered by Ashok. Then Bengal, Assam, this vast, and towards north side Himalaya. So this vast territory was there. Keep in mind, in those days, the proper transport system was not there. Like in present days, we are having trains, then communication system. So in those days, this transport system, communication system was not there. And therefore, in order to rule this vast territory, we had to depend mostly on kings. So this area was divided under kingship, and the centralized power there in Patliputra. The capital was Patliputra. The important thing that this empire was sustained because of huge army. Around 4 lakh soldiers were there in this army. Now Chanakya describes that king must have Chaturanga Dal, that means 4-fold army. That is the cavalry, infantry, chariots and elephants. So all of these anga means sides of the army were present in Maurya Empire. Obviously, whenever army is paid, it is having definite collection of revenue. So the center of this whole empire was obviously emperor. Now according to Arthashastra, the supreme power on this earth should be there in hands of emperor. The royal orders suppress all other orders. Even the dharma, that means religion, was not having, there is conflict between order given by emperor and dharma, then we should obey given order given by emperor and not by dharma. So this is the supremacy of emperor over the empire that was expected in Arthashastra. Today, some conflicts, as you are observing, the best example that the case of Shah Banu, that constitution was changed for pleasing out particular group of people. Now this is not the case that one should bow before any religion. Religious power should be there for personal practices. Religion is there for personal practice and not for the ruling concept. The ruling administration is different, and household practice, whatever you are praying out, you can pray any god in your home, no problem. But you should not disturb the society, or social structure should not be disturbed. So in those days, this care must have taken that religion should be kept at home. In Arthashastra, it is clearly mentioned that king must be guided by Mantri Parishad. Mantri Parishad is council of the king that should be guided or advised. So many times, if one person is carrying out all the things, then there are problems. Not always, but many times. There are certain examples. Say for example, in case of film industry, the categorization of the role is there. Say for example, one is actor, one is director, other one is script writer, story writer, musician, singers. All these are separated. But in few films, we may find that one person can carry out variety of role in the same film. Say for example, Raj Kapoor's movie. Just observe. He is director, he is actor, then in few films he is singer, and so on. One of the Marathi movie that is also having such kind of record, that P.L. Deshpande was hero, then story writer, script writer, dialogue, what not, everything except cameraman. Almost majority of portion of this movie was given by P.L. Deshpande. So like that things can, but here Arthashastra clearly mentions that king must be guided by council. Now this council is having different departments, and departmental work is there. Say for Karmantiko, that must look after the industries of the state. Another given person, that is Sannidhaka, that must look after treasury of the state. So this departmentalization was there. Megasthenes reports that there is number of 6 departments, whereas in actual practice it is given as 18 departments should be there. What is the number of members in council? That is not fixed. But Chanakya says that there should be, the council should be as large as possible. In order to obtain very good result, the council should be as large as possible. Now different work, say for example, Padanadhyaksha, he is having to look after the matters of market. As we have discussed, this empire was having very large army, and cavalry, infantry, elephants, chariots, and what are the weapons they have. So one person was appointed as Ayudh Agar Adhyaksha. I am revising word Ayudh Agar. So combined we can say Ayudh Agar Adhyaksha. That means simply the storekeeper. No doubt that this administrative setup is given in Arthashastra. But in case of Emperor Ashok, this entire Arthashastra or the concepts were not followed. Ashok is described as Devanam Priya. that means beloved of God. So, some exemptions were carried out over there. Certain problems in administration occur because of they are not following Arthashastra. As in order to control this vast empire, huge army is required. Same way, the spy department, espionage, that is very much essential. This department is the key factor for king. That what is going on in the society, that is watched perfectly by this type of spies. The spies were having role to check out the government officials first. Keep in mind, this system is very, very essential because maximum corruption chances are there from government side only. So the spies were having duty that to check out government officials. But not always officials are responsible, people are also responsible. So certain spies were having duty to watch on the people, common people also under observation, and therefore vast empire can consist. These spies were not only working in their own nation, but they were working in other nation also in order to get exact information for emperor what is going on there. Some spies, they were working for Chanakya, but apparently for other nation. The useful data they were able to convey from Chanakya to other nation. If you are going through Arthashastra, you will get this all records, and especially this spy department is very, very important in order to administer the empire properly. In India, in modern days, Britishers carried out the same thing in India, and therefore they were able to rule here for 150 years. The reason, strong military power. Keep in mind, empires are built up not because of only religion. The strong military power is required. Second thing, that espionage must be proper. And third thing, the attitude. Ultimately, the aim of empire should be that citizens should be flourished. It should have center as citizens, common people should be at center, and development of common people is the target of emperor. Then empireship should flourish very nicely. Otherwise, you will find that many empires, now we are discussing history, just beginning lectures are there. Later on you will find that many empires are constructed and destroyed, not only in India, all over the world. Why destruction of this empire carried out? That we have to discuss in later period. So anyway, the spy department is very much important from Kautilya's point. No doubt, with this supreme administration part, Chandragupta Maurya was able to rule for this vast empire, even Bindusar, entire life. And then Emperor Ashok was able to know legal system. Any empire, if we want to run it smoothly, smooth administration and smooth revenue connection, for that purpose, it is required that legal system must be perfect. In Arthashastra, it is mentioned that legal system must be perfect. Two courts are mentioned over here. They are Dharmasthya and Kantaka Shodhan. Dharmasthya means the court which look after the personal matter. Say for example marriage, Stridhana, like that concepts. Then that court is Dharmasthya. Whereas the problem of wages of worker, then or case of murder, like that cases, they are solved by Kantaka Shodhan. Kantaka means actually thorn, the problem for society. So Kantaka Shodhan. So like that, two courts are mentioned over here. Then different levels of courts, they are also mentioned over here. For example, Gramika. Gramika is having authority to solve problem at village level. Suppose your problem is not solved at village level, then you have to appeal at Janapada. We had discussed earlier Janapada, Mahajanapada, etc. So the court was there at Janapada level. Then if there is not solved, then you can go for central power also. So this type of system was there in old days also. Now, what is the source? Chanakya mentioned different codes of conduct. Then the base of these codes are as here. First one is Dharma, second Vyavahara, third Charitra, and fourth Rajasasana. So all that four codes, you can just take it down: Dharma, Vyavahara, Charitra, Rajasasana. So these codes, these sources, where there ample opportunity was given for a person for pleading, to give evidences, and we can argue with this type. So this is the judiciary system. In case of Chanakya, it is Megasthenes refers that no much crime was there in case of Mauryan Empire. Now this is something we can say relative concept. But as code mentions different punishments for different crime, that means certain things must have carried out. I'm not saying everything was all clear in Mauryan Empire, but with reference to Megasthenes, we can say that criminal level was not much high. Obviously, this data is irrelevant. The reason is that what is the high and what is low, no such standards are set, but you can take in general that less crime was there in Mauryan Empire. Now, the judiciary system was not exact perfect as it is today. We are carrying out daring that today judiciary system is perfect, as we are saying. But the thing is that the impartiality of law in India, we are following this principle that impartiality of law, if crime is carried out by a king, now not is the king but the ruler, any one can say minister, and crime is carried out by any single ordinary person, then for same crime, same punishments are there in book of law. Practical things you are observing, but theoretically we are having equality, and it is fine that several ministers are tried before court. So this is not the thing that law and order is not there in India. It is there. It is of very high level we are expecting. On book, the idealistic things are there in book. So on book we are having treating equality. But in case of this Mauryan Empire, the equality was not there. By law, according to Varna Vyavastha, that means the class system, punishments were there. That means suppose one crime is carried out by Brahman and same crime is carried out by Shudra, then punishments are different. So this is the problem from present angle. In those days the class system was going on, but from present angle you may find that equality before law, that was not there in case of Mauryan Empire. Revenue. Any empire, even any small state, even house is requiring money. Revenue is very, very important, and proper revenue generation should be there. As we had discussed, Sannidhata, that is the treasurer, is responsible to look after this all matter. Different taxes are mentioned. For example, from city, 21 different taxes are mentioned in Arthashastra. That is fine, then sales tax, then excise duty charged on liquor, you'll find very much similarity from revenue. Say any matter, old days or present days, the revenue side, today also you can check out that fine, even RTO department is charging tremendous fines. No doubt that is required so that the crime should be minimized, the offences should be minimized. So, and revenue is also there from that side. So, fine, then sales tax, then excise duty, charge on liquor, like that. 21 different taxes are paid by cities. So, major collection was coming out from these cities, whereas from village side, certain taxes are income from crown land, that is called as Sita, and income or we can say that revenue collected from farmer, that was Bhag. This is collected from village. In earlier days, we discussed that in case of Mughal Empire, their important source was the mines. And in Maurya Empire also, mines belong to state government. Personal belonging was not there. So important source of revenue was there from mines. Then from traders, variety of taxes were collected. If you are traveling by waterway, that means if you are using sea or rivers, then also you have to pay tax. If you are using road, then also you have to pay tax. Today also you can find that whenever you are using road, actually road taxes we are already paying. Whenever vehicle is registered, then we are giving road tax. And apart from that, we are paying another tax, that is toll tax, for particular road is used. So same way, in old days, these road taxes, then certain departments, they are there to check out the goods. If weight of good is checked, then also charge of tax was there. So like that, taxes were there. Even whatever you are importing out, whatever you are exporting out, the import and export duties were there. So like that, large revenue was collected from variety of sources. Then the trading of salt, that was very good source. What is not there in present day, but it is there, it was there in old days, that is gambling. You can say lottery is there, official lottery is okay, that's small thing. But otherwise, in old days, the gambling was very much important, and even in Mahabharata, you can say that Dyuta is form of gambling only. So that was official, and so tax was levied on that also. The winner should pay 5% tax of the amount he is won from the game. So like that, the taxes and charges are collected. So anyway, that is the revenue. Obviously, these all revenues are very, very important, but they are not used by emperor for his own benefit. This is used, or rather this was used for benefits of people in form of public work, the salaries given for officials, maintaining of huge army, maintaining of law and order, constructing of roads, etc. And so the role of this tax is very, very important. Revenue department is very, very important, and in old days also it was very, very important, because without that emperor will not run. And so this was well maintained. So we have discussed so far the first thing about administrative part mentioned in Arthashastra, and whatever the records mentioned by Megasthenes, he was ambassador, so Greek ambassador, so whatever records we have, on basis of that we have discussed. Then about army, the maintaining of large army. Then we have discussed about the legal system, espionage. Then we have discussed about revenue. Now what are the benefits for the people? Let us start now discussing first thing, that is the public. From sources, it is clear that Maurya Empire was carrying out more public work in case of irrigation first. Irrigation was very much important because this will rise up food production. So ultimately gold, silver, diamond, they are not edibles. So any state, if you have to run, then first thing one should take care that it should be independent in case of food. So for that purpose, to rise up the level of food, amount of food, they constructed huge dams, ponds, canals, that means irrigation system. They were interested much so that the food production will be more. Obviously, if farmer produces large amount, then obviously tax, the revenue collection is also more, and for that they carried out public work in field of this irrigation purpose. Apart from that, various things Arthashastra mentions, like king should look after the orphans, unattended women, that is the responsibility of king. So for that purpose work was carried out. Even the medicinal help for people, in Ashoka's rule this was carried out, that medicinal help was provided for not only man, that was provided for even animals. King should help people in natural calamities like flood, earthquake. The role of government was very much important. They should carry out rescue operations and help people. So this was the public work carried out in. As we have discussed, Mauryan Empire was very vast. Earlier days there were 16 Mahajanapada. So whenever we are talking of Mahajanapada and number 16, almost all of these Mahajanapada were united in Mauryan Empire. And even South India, large part of South India, Deccan, that was under control of Emperor Ashoka. So we have to distribute for administrative purpose. This empire is distributed in different provinces. Ashoka's inscriptions gave certain idea about the provinces. Now 4 provinces are known from that inscription. That Tosali, that was there from eastern part of empire. So eastern part or eastern province, that was Tosali. Then south part, that was Suvarnagiri. Then western part this of empire, that was under control of Ujjain. So this province was called as Tosali, then Suvarnagiri, Ujjain, and northwest frontier region part, that is west side of Jhelum, that was called as Takshashila, wrongly pronounced as Taxila, but actually the word is Takshashila. So this is the Takshashila provinces. Now 4 provinces are mentioned over Ashoka's inscriptions. Maybe possible more provinces are expected over here. The provinces are ruled, or the chief of province was Kumar. Now in old days, whenever any blessings are given, they are given as Ashtaputra Saubhagyavati Bhav. For one woman, this type of blessings were given. That means one should give rise 8 boys, not girls. The number of sons should be 8. Remaining thing. So this type of blessings were given. Emperor should have large number of sons. No doubt we have discussed that Bindusar was having 100 sons and 17 daughters. So like that it was expected that Kumara means prince, should rule over certain province. So these provinces were under control of Kumar. But Kumar was not solely responsible for province, because Kumar, obviously young fellow, he must get experience of ruling, experience of administration. For that purpose, this is right appointment. He was guided by Maha Amatya. Probably Maha Amatya was selected from both the emperor as well as Kumar. Then other person, they are called as Amatya, and Mantri Parishad, that is the council. So Kumar is not solely responsible, but one can say he is taking experience as well as learning. Both things are considered over there. So Maha Amatya has to perform certain duties, that to control or to guide the Kumar, that means prince, as well as direct contact with emperor. So like that he was acting as governor. In modern constitution one can say that he was acting as governor. The governor links out between central government and provincial government. The same thing was there. So Mantri Parishad or council, that was important. Then Amatya, these are having some special rights, and because of their special rights certain revelations were carried out, especially in Takshashila province at beginning of Bindusar's reign and beginning of Ashoka's reign. So the Amatya, they are having certain special powers. So this way the provinces are created. Now in district level we have to discuss about the administrative setup given. Three officials are mentioned over here. They are Pradeshta, then Rajuk, just look here, Pradeshta, Rajuk and Yukta. These three administrators are important over here. The Pradeshta, that is the chief authority of Pradesh, that means district. He was chief authority. He was having various functions like inspections of the area, carrying out tours and observe what is going on, then assessment of land revenue, measurements, etc. So total overall in charge of district, that was Pradesh. Then according to fourth pillar, Ashok increased the powers of Rajuk, that he can work more independently with respect to public work. The Yukta, the third official, that was somewhat like junior officer. He should work as secretary for both of the Pradeshta and Raju. So this is the district level administration in case of Maurya. Now village level. At village level, as we have discussed here, that at district level Pradeshta was chief. So same way at village level Gramik, that was considered as chief of the village. He was having, he should be a local person. So, he is having authority of village matters. But these two, that Gopa and Sthanika, these two other officials are mentioned. So probably they are acting as intermediate between village and district level administration. Whatsoever matter, a kind of autonomous government was there in the village. They were having rules that we have to mark the boundaries of villages, then keep records of land revenues, then maintain law and order in the village level, at local level. These all important things are mentioned in Arthashastra. So totally we are discussing about the administration now at empire level, then at provincial level, then at district level, and ultimately at village level. Now this is about the empire. Now we have to discuss about foreign policy. Now during the rule of Emperor Ashok, the boundaries of this empire was at its extreme level. Say for example here, extreme level here, Gandhar, that was west frontier, secured till south, it was propagated here till east, and so there is no expansionist policy further. So Ashok was able to maintain very good relationship with foreign countries. For example, from Greece to Sri Lanka and much South Islands, the contacts were there, the friendly contacts were there, and the role of Dharma